In this video I'm going to delve into a bit of a controversial topic, breastfeeding, bottle feeding. I kind of was always very pro breastfeeding before I actually had a baby. Wasn't against women bottle feeding, just believed the breast is best. However, having a baby, in hospital, my baby latched on fine, totally fine. Coming home was a different story. However, I did go to my partner's parents, so I don't know if that contributed to it. Maybe I felt more uncomfortable there. Breastfeeding, I don't know. And I always thought, like, if I did breastfeed, I wouldn't care what anybody else thought. I would get them out wherever, whenever. And it's not as simple as that when it actually comes to breastfeeding. I think women that breastfeed in public are so strong, because I feel like I probably couldn't have done that. However, from coming home from hospital after him latching on fine, he just didn't latch on at all. It was so painful. He screamed, he was crying, I was crying. It was not a good time for anyone. But I felt very pushed by everyone to breastfeed. But you've got to breastfeed him, it's best. You've got to do this, it's best. And because I couldn't, and me and the baby were getting too stressed, and I felt guilty and felt like a bad mum. So I tried the Tommy Tippy manual pump, which broke on me straight away, because I was like, right, I'm going to have to pump this and syringe it into his mouth. That didn't work. So I was like, right, screaming baby, how do we stop him? He won't latch on. I can't tried that hand express and stuff. That didn't work. And I was like, right, how do we get milk into this baby? So my partner popped out and got formula. But I was still determined to breastfeed, so we only got formula until I got a new pump, which was the Mandela pump, which I support so much. That is the best pump ever. It was amazing. But yeah, I decided to express, because every time health visitors, midwives, anything came over and they were like, yeah, your baby's latched on, he's fine. Yeah, that worked for like a minute. That worked when they were there. As soon as they left, I was like, right, he's not doing it. I don't understand. He just wasn't. And even when they did get him to latch on, it was so painful. I could cry. It was not good. It wasn't good for me or the baby. So I tried permanently expressing. So I was expressing every feed a good like 8-9 ounces. Well, the baby was only having 2, 3, 4 ounces. So I was storing it. But then because I was storing it and I didn't want it to go off, I was then not expressing and giving him a bottle from the fridge. So not realising straight away that would reduce my milk supply. So it was reducing slightly to start with anyway. Eventually, like, baby took to milk fine. He was happy with it. But he was a hungry baby. All of the time. He wanted feeding every hour and a half, which was really difficult for me to pump. So I would pump enough for 2 feeds and only pump every other feed type of thing, which was still good for my milk supply, but just didn't really work the same. Moved house while breastfeeding with a baby. Really stressful, don't do it. Because of moving and me trying to help, and then my partner's parents being around again, being in and out, having people delivering things, and tried giving the baby more formula so I didn't have to express as much while we were trying to move. So that reduced my milk supply. Eventually, one breast totally dried up. The other one was still going, so I now have one boob significantly bigger than the other, and it's weird. But yeah, so the other one went for a while, and I think I expressed breast milk until he was about 3 or 4 months old. He's lactose intolerant, so he's on special milk, because the formula, he kept projectile vomiting with it. But I'd say the last month of breastfeeding, I hated it. I didn't enjoy it. Every time I knew it was time to express, I was just like, right, okay. And it might have been different if I breastfed properly. But I'd say it wasn't for me. Formula works so much better for me, and I think long as your baby is fed, long as they are healthy, long as they're growing, and some women can't breastfeed, and I think by pushing breast is best all the time for the women that don't produce their milk in time and stuff like that, it makes them feel guilty, I think, because it made me feel guilty that I couldn't do it. And to this day I'm like, should have done it, should have tried harder, should have done this, should have, could have, would have, and it's too late. But my baby's big, he's very healthy, he's happy, he's doing the right milestones, he had teeth before, I think, 4 months. He was like, he's doing amazingly well. And I think he was only on breast milk only for 2 months. So formula was introduced like a lot after that, and then totally introduced after 4 months. So 2 months of being on formula only, and now he's starting to be weaned and with the teeth. I don't know how women breastfeed with teeth. Like, I take my hat off to you because it's got to hurt. But the point of this video is that when I talk to a lot of people who didn't breastfeed, it's not that they didn't want to or they didn't try. A lot of the time is they tried and they didn't like it. And my little thing to say to women is, if you don't breastfeed, that's fine. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel like a bad mum. You've not let your baby down. You've not let anybody down. Do what is best for you and your baby. Your mental health and well-being, your body's mental health, body health and well-being's more important, and the baby's well-being's more important. He would scream for hours, me trying to give him like breast, and of course he was hungry. Then he would eventually fall asleep after the crying. Then when he woke up, he was even more hungry, and he's a hangry baby. Like, he kicks off when he's hungry, and I don't know if it's because of that at the start. Even now, like, if he's hungry, he will be like, he can go into hysterics really easily. Other than that, he's a great baby. It's just the food. But I feel like if we didn't have that carry on at first, he wouldn't be like that now. And as well, we're saying about the vitamins and everything, and they're less like, I got told, they're less likely to have things later on in life if you breastfeed them. Because I don't handle lactose very well, I think I've passed that on to him when he was in the womb, because he was given breast milk, but I didn't have lactose in that or any dairy. And then when he was given it, he was sick. So he was on breast milk, so I think he got that from my genes anyway. So I feel like some stuff you're gonna pass on. So he's still got problems and allergies, and, well, just dairy allergies. But they do say that can go. But it's the point of what I'm trying to get across is that you know your baby best. You know what's best. If you bottle feed, good. At least you're feeding him. It's a bottle, a breast. It doesn't matter. The bond me and my baby have, like, he's unreal. He looks into my eyes. And that wasn't from being on a breast. He was given to different people to feed him, and he's still got a strong bond with me. Just remember, you're the mum. You know them best. As long as they are fed and happy and healthy, you're doing well. You're doing something right. So I'm not trying to say don't breastfeed or anything like that, because if you can breastfeed, I do believe that, that is best. It's from you. You're giving them you, essentially. But just, if you can't do it, don't feel guilty. Just be happy that you're a mum. You're a strong mum. But yeah, I think either or, whether you breastfeed or bottle feed, yeah, you're doing well. Yeah. Feel free to leave your opinions down below. I don't want anybody to argue. I believe that everybody's got their own opinions. I just don't think you should force them on anybody else. That's not why I make these videos. It's just a bit of kind of advice, because I feel like if more people had told me that actually they didn't enjoy breastfeeding and stuff at first, I feel like I wouldn't have felt as guilty when I did. And I think that'll always subconsciously be there, that slight guilt. I mean, some people I've talked to, their children are nearly adults, and they're like, no, like, the guilt goes, don't worry, don't panic. And I hope it does, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I let him down. I should have still done it. When I see people breastfeeding, but then at the same time, he's holding on to his bottle himself, and he's only 6 months. Like, he's holding it up himself, and I don't know, like, I just think either or, you're a good mum. That's my opinion. So yeah, this was a nice little video, I hope. And like I say, if you've got an opinion, comment below. I'm not saying kick off with me or kick off with anybody else that comments, but I just want to know if other mums felt the same or not. So yeah, I can hear him starting to get agitated, so I'm gonna have to go. Bye guys.